What's going on, guys? I'll make another quick video here for you guys. This one's going to be on ears, whether you decide to keep them floppy or do a crop on your dog. It really depends on you, ultimately. You know, there's no real wrong or right, no right or wrong about it. It's just, it depends on you. You're the dog owner, you make the decision. Now, as you see, I got both. I got one that's floppy, one that's crop. I'll do a quick rundown here. You might know already, even if you don't. There are several types of crops, and they're all different. So you've got the long crop, that's more for like Dobermans or Great Danes. Looks awesome on Great Danes. It looks phenomenal. He's got a show crop. That's the one that I like the best. It looks great. There's a short crop that looks decent, and then there's the battle crop. That's essentially there's no ear left. They completely scalp it. That to me serves absolutely no purpose unless you're running a fighting dog, and you know everybody's against that. It looks awful. I mean, it looks like an absolute mutilation. So everything kind of serves its purpose, right? That to me does not, unless you're doing something illegal. So that is what it is. Now, some things you got to take in consideration with the dogs when you do the surgery. You definitely do your research on whichever vet or doctor that you're gonna do it. Understand you're gonna get your money's worth, right? Don't go to some cheap ass place, because it is expensive, right? So don't try to go around it and go to a cheap ass place that's gonna end up hurting your dog in the long run, or maybe even killing your dog while it's on the table. Last thing you want, right? I'd hate for that to happen, so don't skimp on it. My man here was in pain for like 2 days after the surgery. The day I brought him back, he was, I mean, he didn't even want to move. I brought him back to the house after he got his ears done, and like he didn't want to eat, he didn't want to drink, he didn't want to do anything. So he just sat there, either in his kennel or cuddled up in bed with me and the wife. And that was it. That's all he did. He didn't want to move. But 2 days, that was it. He forgot all about it. And he was, you know, his usual self, even probably with even more energy, because he's been just sitting down, laying down for 2 days. Afterwards, I mean, you gotta make, you know, it is a surgery, right? So he's gonna have stitches, or she, you know, your dog's gonna have stitches for about 2 weeks afterwards. He did rip out the stitches. They give you a cone usually. He went through both of them, so you just got to keep in mind. Keep him away from scratching at it, because he did rip them out. Luckily, it was already so far down that it didn't create so much damage. So on the kind of basics on what they do, they don't just simply take the ear, stretch it out, and then just cut it to give you this shape, right? That's not what they do. So if you see, they'll take it, they'll do the cut, but they'll actually come in right here, and I'll show you with Bronson here in a second. But they'll come in and they'll do an incision right here and take out some flesh right here in the middle, in between the ear fold and like the side of the ear here, the bottom of the ear, closer. I don't want to say the canal, is nowhere near the canal, but down here. So all this tissue here kind of goes, and they stitch it together to make it. I'm sorry, the sun was in the camera there. So they stitch it together to give you this shape. So if you see the come here, puppy. Let me see if you'll stay still long enough for me to show you. All right, so right here, you actually can't even really see the scar all that well. His surgeon did a phenomenal job, but right here is where all the stitches used to be. Right here. This was actually the ear that he ripped. Or not the ear, but the stitches that he ripped from. But you see, you can kind of see it right there. Stop over. It's kind of all right there. And generally, after, depending on how young your pup is, the cartilage is still soft. So sometimes you'll get the tips that kind of fold down a little bit. So they'll post it somehow. Some people use tampons. I had bought some tampons, and they, I actually didn't even need it, because they, it's just, I mean, she did a wonderful job. Like I said, that woman, she worked magic. So he was done. He was good to go. as soon as I brought him home. I didn't have to do much. But yeah, that's some of the things that you're gonna have to consider. Age is another thing. 16 weeks, I think that might be it across the board, but 16 weeks is probably the max in age that you want to go for cropping the dog. You don't want to do it too young. I don't know that you would want to do it for any younger than 10 weeks. Definitely no, you don't want to do it on a newborn pup for sure. But definitely, my take, probably between 12 and 16 weeks. That's your window right there. But that's pretty much it. Now, as far as tails, nah, don't touch the tail. Maybe on a Rottie, and that's a big ass maybe. But the tail serves a purpose. You know, that's a dog's balancing point. So take that, then nah. But yeah, so that's pretty much the rundown. My take on ear crops. Hope that gives you a little bit of info. Helps you decide whether you want to do it or not for your dogs.